We may have some more people hopping on, but that's okay because it is 9:06. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late, guys. I don't know why my internet just it was not loading. Nothing was loading for me. So I had to basically restart my computer and then it worked. So you guys, hello. Awesome. Nicole, thank you for hopping on here, and Holly and Court. I see Court cleaning back there. So I'm excited to have you guys on here. I do host these, or I'm going to start to try and host these once a month. So these are not dynasty-wide getting started right calls, just because it's so large, and I really find that these are better when they're more intimate and smaller. So with that being said, welcome to the team. Super excited that you're here. Basically, this is going to be a super simple call, but I'm hoping that when you leave here, you have a little bit of sense of direction on where to go, kind of how to get started, who you need to be talking to specifically, things like that. So I feel like my internet is so wonky. I really hope that this is recording properly. Okay, so this call, actually, I definitely recommend as leaders to do these for your personally sponsored as well, because I know this is a newbie call, and so a bunch of newbies are going to be getting on here, and you're thinking, gosh, how could I ever run a call like this? Well, we have a script for that. We basically have scripts for all of the things. If you haven't already poked around, the team page and checked out the files section, that is obviously something I tell everybody to go and just poke around. We have an album section as well, which is literally just a photo album in the Dynasty that is solely dedicated to curiosity posts. We're going to go into that a little bit later. But the file section is basically going to be your new best friend. It has tons of resources, and you can always search things too. But this specific call, I literally follow a guideline that is in the back or in the file section of the Dynasty, literally every single call. We have a script for everything. So it is super easy to just whenever you're feeling overwhelmed, just remember there's probably a script for that, right? So I definitely, oh man, I normally what I would do, if I do sometimes do these one-on-one as well. So if you hop off here and you're I want to have a one-on-one, definitely hit up me, your upline, set up a one-on-one call to go into things more detailed. Sometimes that overwhelms people. So that's why I'm not going to pressure you to do it, but it is something that I recommend too. So the first thing, I would love to hear goals from everybody. I'm not going to pressure anybody to talk about them on this call, but I want you to really sit down. So this is your first homework assignment, so to speak, and we're jumping right into it because this is literally how you're going to get your business going. What are your goals? Why did you sign up for this business? Are you looking to pay off debt? Are you looking for some extra cash? Are you looking to be top 10 in the company? There are a lot of different goals that people can set. And we, especially here, I am not going to be one to shun you if you only want to make $500. If you've been in network marketing before, you know that it sometimes can feel icky when you have an upline, or something like that. And, that person feels like they're always too busy to talk to you. I want and I say this on every call up front, I want all of you to know that that is not the case here. You guys are never going to be bothering me, and literally never have a stupid question. Because if you have to me, and I say this to all my people, if you have a question to me, that means you give a shit. That means you legitimately care. And I'm going to answer that because I've been there and I care too. So if you care, that's amazing. Of course, we're here to help you. But with that being said, of course, we want you to utilize the resources that we give you as well. So that's why I mentioned, again, the files section in the Dynasty is your new best friend. Like, check that out. The search bar, that's your new best friend. But going back to the first homework assignment is to talk about goals. Reach out to your upline and tell them what your goals are. Like, what do you want out of this business? I want to hear like first step goal. I want to hear like dream goals. I want to hear the whole 9 yards, right? Because I'm sure there's going to be multiple goals, just like there might be multiple reasons why you started this business. When I first started network marketing, it was really like I had to figure out what my why was. And I felt like my why is still constantly changing, right? Like, it literally changed today even. Like, it is constantly changing. And that's what's so cool about this opportunity. But the reason why we want you to talk about your goals and we want to hear why you're here in this business is because we want to make sure as leaders that you have a why that is strong enough to push you through the times that are hard, because none of us are going to sugarcoat this and pretend like this is always unicorns and rainbows. Like, guys, it's going to require consistency, right? Like, it's going to require you showing up. So kudos to you for getting on this call tonight. That's freaking amazing that you're getting on this call. Seriously, for me, it's like 9:15 at night. I'm in my robe, guys, so kudos that you are here and hopping on, because that really does mean something. And it means something to your leader and your upline that you are showing up. So first thing, like I said, figure out what your goals are, figure out kind of what your why is. Maybe you've got a couple of different whys. Reach out to your upline. And like I was saying before, guys, I just want you guys to know, like, the success in this business is definitely going to be up to you. Your upline, we are all here to help you, to guide you, to answer your questions. Honestly, I even recommend sending screenshots of your first couple of conversations. We're going to help you get up your first couple of posts even. Like, we are absolutely, and if that's something you don't want to do, that's fine with us too. But we want you to know that we are more than happy to help you get your feet wet and get the process going. However, you're still going to have to be the one doing the things daily or consistently that are going to take your business to the next level. So with that being said, I also I like to keep it real, guys, if you haven't realized. I also want to just make sure that you know that this is definitely a process, and to celebrate every victory that you have, it is so, so important, because not everybody's going to say yes, right? Like, you're going to hear no. And it's so important to take the emotions out of the no and to celebrate your successes. AKA, did you do all of your action items that you wanted to do today? I specifically do a power hour basically every day. It's super simple. I'm happy to share it with you guys. Like, it's literally the easiest thing. And this business, you're going to find that we like to overcomplicate things here, because it is so simple that we're always trying to find things that may take it to the next level. And so I'm always trying to remember and remind people that this is easy, but consistency is key. I shouldn't say easy. It's simple, right? Like, it's simple to do. The hard part is being consistent. But one way to really, I would say, like, not catapult, but really get momentum going in your business is to stay connected. Like, shout out to Courtney and Holly for being on this call with you guys tonight. Like, talk about amazing leaders, you guys, because they are here trying to plug in for you guys so that they can grow as leaders too, right? So you're going to see, as you add people to your team, as you add customers to your business, you're going to see that people, even though it may not always feel like it, people are for sure watching you. Like, they are for sure watching you. And at the beginning, we all have been there. You may only get 3 likes on your post, and you're going to be like, oh my gosh, like, I only got 3 likes on that post, or whatever. Like I still overthink like, oh my gosh, my posts. However, you have to realize people are watching, whether or not they are, commenting or liking, they are for sure watching you. And that really, really includes your team. So staying plugged in to the dynasty, staying plugged in with Holly, with Courtney, whoever your upline specifically is so important, because your team is going to do the same thing then, right? Like your team's going to say like, oh, wow, I want to do that too. I want to, be plugged in, or I want to step up like a leader too. And in order for them to do that, they're going to be looking to you for how do they do that. So I do 2 power hours. Oh my gosh, girlfriend. And then 15 minutes during my lunch. So yeah, they really are simple. Like I probably should do 2 power hours. Like I'm not even going to lie. But I tend to like check in multiple times a day. It really is whatever works for your schedule, right? Like it's going to take a little bit of time to figure it all out. Yeah, we are here 100%, but we are not your bosses, like, right? Like people come to me and they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry I didn't get on that call. I'm like, you literally don't need to apologize for me, because to me, I'm not your boss. I'm not here to tell you like, yo, you should have been on this call. I'm not going to judge you if you don't get on a call. I'm still going to love you the same as I did, prior to the call or after the call. But when you come to me and you say my business isn't, going as fast as I want it to go, or my business isn't picking up the way that I want it to go, I'm likely going to tell you, well, you need to plug in, right? Like those are the things that we as leaders are supposed to do. I always say sometimes being a leader means you have to tell people they have something in their teeth. That means we're going to have to say, this is a good thing to improve on. But with that being said, we are not going to hunt you down and tell you, oh, hey, you need to hop on this, or you need to do, it is up to you on what you want to grow on, right? Like this is your business. We are here to guide and help. But you're going to be the one that's going to have to, take it to the next level and take it to the next step. So with that being said, the first thing I really like to have people do is to get up a couple of curiosity posts. So with that being said, head over into the Dynasty, and in our album section, I mentioned this just a few minutes ago, in our album section, which is like literally you go to photos and then you'll see an album, it literally says curiosity posts. And on that album, it's got a ton of girls from the team have shared their curiosity posts there. And so it's basically just a thread filled with curiosity posts for different people, from different people. And so it's a good place for you as a newbie to head to, check it out, look at what other people are posting on their social media as curiosity posts. You never want to copy and paste. Make that very clear. You never want to copy and paste the exact post, but if you want to find something that inspires you or that you really like, definitely take it, work with it, rework it, take the concept behind it and make it yours. So head to the Dynasty, check out that album section and come up with a curiosity post, okay? And if you've already done this, do it again, because I think a lot of people think, oh, hey, I put up one curiosity post, like, let me just announce to everybody, hey, I joined this business. Like, that sounds kind of salesy, right? That sounds kind of icky. So we want to keep that curiosity. I've been in the business now since June and I still post curiosity posts, or at least I try to still post curiosity posts. So there's really never a time to stop posting curiosity posts, but starting your business, it's a really, really good way to get people asking you what you're doing without you then having to be like, hey, I started this new business. Come check it out. So head there, find one, reach out to your upline and show them what you've put together for that curiosity post. If you're super confident, go ahead, post it for sure. We are going to encourage you to do that. But if you're feeling like you're not totally sure, send it to your upline. Send them what you're thinking, and they are going to happily help you, or myself even, happily help you make sure that it sounds the way you want it to sound, right? It comes off the way you want it to come off. You're going to find in this business, has a lot to do with not what you say, but how you say it. So we won't go too far into that right now, but that is definitely something to keep in mind as you're kind of creating your curiosity post. And then after you create your curiosity post, you're going to start talking to people. People are likely going to start commenting like, yo, what are you talking about? What's this? What's that? And you're kind of like, uh-oh, what do I do now? Literally, that's what I do. I'm like, uh-oh. So people are curious. Now what do I do? Well, you are going to head to the Dynasty, again, in the file section, and check out our scripts. I swear to God, people think I'm BSing them every time I tell them this, but I literally follow the scripts. I really do follow the scripts in every single conversation I basically have. Like it's almost every single one. So head to the Dynasty and check out the script section. And this is where I really recommend, if you're feeling unsure on what to say, send screenshots to your upline, to me, to your upline's upline, whoever, and ask them what their opinion is. Because likelihood is that they have had that same exact conversation that day, probably a couple of times. So feel free to reach out and to send screenshots. And that is honestly, that's what I did with my upline. And I learned so much. At first I was like kind of offended that she wanted me to like send her screenshots. I was like, oh my gosh, like she really doesn't trust me. But then I learned that there really is a way to talk to people. And it, again, is not what you say, but how you say it. We don't want to be word vomiting and things like that. So if all else fails, if you're feeling at all insecure, please lean on us. So with that curiosity post, I'm also definitely going to recommend you have some type of list. I know it's kind of like a weird, it's not weird, but it's not everybody's favorite thing to do, sit down and kind of think of a list of people, of names, but it is really good to have something to work off of. I'm not going to sit here and tell you guys you need to literally write down 100 names, okay? But have an idea of like who would you really love to join your team? Who would you really love that you think these products would really work for, right? Like write those people down, because that is something that you're passionate about, and that passion is for sure going to transfer over as you're talking to them, because you're already like thinking, wow, I would love for them to try this, or I would love to talk to them about this opportunity. So create that list alongside that curiosity post. You don't have to send your upline the list, but keep it to yourself, and utilize that as you're moving forward. So your first goal, besides getting the curiosity post out there and some conversations going, your first really, really big goal is to hit super affiliate. And that is right now. So just so everybody knows, we are going through compensation plan transformation, so to speak, I would say. So we changed a little bit of our compensation plan. Well, we changed our compensation plan completely at the beginning of December, but we've also are now still getting improvements. And I have got word down the road through the grapevine, I should say, that they really are still working on actually improving the compensation plan even more. So with that being said, I'm not sure if this will change. Stay tuned. We obviously will let you guys know as soon as we know when the compensation plan has adjustments made to it. But your first really big goal is to hit super affiliate. And super affiliate is 2,000, our retail volume is what they call it, RV. And that can be from you and your personal sales, and anybody that you bring on your team and their personal sales as well, as long as they don't hit super affiliate for themselves. So, essentially, it sounds like so much. I know when I joined the business, I literally was like, oh my gosh. And that's your first goal. Your first rank is actually 2,500. So it's just an extra $500. And that's again in team sales essentially. And that $500 will make you bronze. And that is your very first, like essentially one of the main reasons why we want to hear what your goals are. And if you can and you're open to it, tell your upline, like, what are you expecting to make? Like, what is that money value that you want to make? Because most likely our compensation plan is literally mapped out to where I can tell you just how much you need to be doing and who you need to be talking to in order for you to make X amount of dollars, right? So I will say bronze. Well, I'm not going to say it because we are going to have we've already changed the compensation plan and we're having more adjustments being made as we speak. But I will say bronze will give you a nice check. And again, it's a good way to have you, help us figure out how we can help you more, if that makes sense. So, I want to open the floor to see if you guys have any questions. I do have people on mute, so I think you guys could be able to unmute yourself. If you have questions, you can type them in the chat if you're more comfortable doing that. But any specific questions, your first steps besides this call is to definitely go through the welcome post as well. I just want to mention that. The welcome post in the Dynasty. We have a training on Facebook on there, like on social media, especially if you're new to network marketing. It's really good just to kind of see the do's and the don'ts of Facebook and the algorithms. Don't let it overwhelm you. It's pretty simple stuff. Don't let the word algorithm overwhelm you. But it's a good training that we have on there. We have just a few other simple tips. Now, I will give you guys my top tips on social media and just really trying to, besides creating curiosity, I personally just really love the branding. I don't know if I love the word branding because it seems to me so cardboard, like cut and dry, like branding. I don't know. Like I'm not a business. Like I am not a brand. I am me. However, I want to be sure that when people look at my page, they're like, wow, this girl knows how to run a social media page. Like I want her to teach me how to do the same thing, right? Like that's one of my goals when I'm trying to bring on new team members, is for people to think that like I can actually, and honestly guys, I'm just winging this like you guys are. Like I'm just winging it too. And I own that. I'm just winging it. I am constantly learning on a daily basis, all new things. I'm just here to share with you what I've learned has been successful and what hasn't been successful, if that makes sense, so that you then don't do the same mistakes that I've done. So one of my top tips is to be sure that you are aware of aesthetics, aka of the lighting, right? Like you don't want to take a dark picture in a dark room. Nobody's going to really be able to see the photo, or if the photo's super blurry, aka a lot of times when you find like a quote on Pinterest or something like that and you resave it so many times, it gets pixelated. And you'll see like the little spots and stuff like that on the I don't know if you want to say, I guess the text, right, on the font, it kind of gets pixelated. My recommendation is if you find a quote or you find something that seems a little bit pixelated, either recreate the photo yourself, which sounds kind of silly, but I use Pinterest a lot for like inspiration on how to take photos, if that makes sense. I literally just like will recreate a Pinterest photo that I found. So Pinterest is a really good tool to use. And just, again, be aware, stand in front of a window, never like directly in the sunlight. Like we don't want like the sun literally glaring your eyeballs that you can't open them. But if you're standing in front of a window that's not in direct sunlight, you're going to get really good lighting. That's a good suggestion, but just be aware of the aesthetics of the photos. That's definitely my first suggestion. And then I personally really love to use the same filter for every photo. That is my personal preference. I'm kind of an Instagram girl, so I think that's why I'm a little partial to that, because Instagram is very much, you want your feed to look a certain way, if that makes sense. Very put together. What's the word I'm looking for? Aesthetically appealing, I guess you would say. It's just universal. It just all kind of flows together on Pinterest or on Instagram. So I love Visco. It's a free app. It's VSCO is literally the app. And you can search actually on Pinterest. Visco, I'll literally type it in the comments. Visco Instagram filters. And honestly, you can add the word free. That's the app, Visco, VSCO. And you can type in the word free. And it's basically, I will show you guys my screen really quick because I pulled it up and show you what let me open up my, okay. All right, let me share. Okay, so literally, see, I already have one. I don't even know why this guy is on my Pinterest, okay? So we're going to ignore him. So Visco, Instagram, I mean, you can do theme or you can do filter. I mean, clearly they pop up here. But essentially what this is, I'm just randomly clicking. This right here, these numbers, when you go into the app and you log into the app, you're going to see like these are options for you to kind of edit the photo. Well, when you type in what I call, this is like a recipe, right? This is like a Visco recipe. When you type this specific thing in, your photos are going to have kind of this, I don't know, would you say like a vintagey, kind of like brownish color tint to it. But you guys look at, there are so many different ones to choose from. So many. Some of them are not always free, which is why unless you're like willing to pay for the premium one, check out the free ones. But these, like, there are so many different ones. And when you use this same thing, you can save the filter. You kind of have to play around with Visco to get used to it a little bit. But essentially, these are just like recipes. And they will make your photos have whatever kind of colorish theme to it so that they flow together, that they're universal, so that people think like, wow, she actually knows what she's doing. I love to do this. This is one of my my favorite things to do. Mind blown. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun stuff. Branding is kind of my thing. But again, I hate the word branding. I just don't know what else to call it because it's really just, I want to be sure that you're portraying you in your best light. And, you know, this is one way to show it. So have fun with this. Don't let it overwhelm you. And don't let it like, because there's so many Visco things. And Visco, you're going to have to play around with it a little bit just to get used to it. But I promise you, once you figure it out, and it is on my to-do list, you guys, to put a Visco training alongside an Instagram training in the Dynasty. I just have to figure out how to actually make videos and like put them together. So okay, back to, so yeah, Visco is definitely another top recommendation that I have to just really kind of make your profile aesthetically appealing to people. And, you know, let's see what else I got here. Okay. So Visco, let me pull up, I have some notes here. I want to make sure I covered everything here. Okay. So yes, please feel free to engage as much as you want into the team page. The more, again, it really goes alongside like just really showing up in, on everything. Show up on the team calls. We have team calls Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, and those are every Tuesday unless noted otherwise. We normally do sneak peek events about once a month. The next one we are doing is going to be in March, so March 3rd, I believe. It's that Sunday. Let me check. Yeah, March 3rd through the 6th. There is a diamond retreat where the leaders are going to be together. So we're planning to do a live event some point that week. I just don't know if we have a set date yet. So just so everybody kind of knows that. And let's see. Yeah, we really do. We have a system, guys. So as long as you're plugging in and you're kind of checking that stuff out, my last top tip that I have is pretty simple. And it's just literally do not overcomplicate this. Share your story and remember that facts tell and stories sell. So I'm not saying you can't share that this coffee is mood enhancing or that it has, going to help you with weight loss and it's going to help you with all of the, like, those are facts, right? Like those are things that the company tells us that we even should be saying. I'm sure you guys have seen like the bullet points of all the amazing things that the coffee does for us. But what I will say is people are like, that's cool, but like, why are you using it? Like people are on social media for 3 reasons. That is to be entertained, that's to find value, and it's to, laugh a bit, right? Like, so just have fun with it and to be sure that you're also sharing your story and your reasons, why you love the coffee and things like that. And don't overcomplicate that, because that's super easy to overcomplicate. And then you feel like, oh no, I don't know what to post. Well, that likely means just you need to take a breather, reset a little bit, and it'll come to you naturally. But if you're feeling like you don't know what to post, it most likely just means you're overcomplicating it. So does anybody have anything specific that they want to ask? I know I love Pinterest. Pinterest is literally like Google for me, guys. It's bad. I like go on Pinterest when I need to Google something. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys tonight. Thank you guys for hopping on with us. And again, reach out to your upline, get that curiosity post, tell them what your goals are so that they know how to help you. And also be sure to let them know, when you're feeling down, and this is like a weird thing to say, but I always say it on every call. Whenever you're feeling down, just kind of remember, or not remember, but when you're feeling down, I just want you to tell your upline, how do you want them to respond when you're feeling down? It's a weird question, right? Like it's a weird thing to like ask, but it's important because it's important for us as leaders to know what motivates you, because everybody's so different that some people may want to be checked in on, right? And some people just may want space. Some people may not want you to be down their back asking them, hey, are you okay? I haven't seen you posting, or I haven't seen, like everybody goes through weird things in their life and life is going to happen. So it's important for us to know as leaders, how can we help you the most? So when you're reaching out to your upline with your goals, tell them that too. Tell them, how you want them to respond when you feel like you're in a funk. It's a weird thing I say to all my newbies, but it really does help us as leaders to know how to lead you better and help you out better. So, all right, guys. Thank you so much for hopping on. I'm really excited to see some curiosity posts and get your businesses rolling. And you guys know where to find us if you have questions. Please feel free to reach out and utilize us as much as possible because we are here to help you. So thank you guys for hopping on, and we will talk to you all later. Bye.